Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me in episode number 63 of AppScan Tuesdays. Today, we are going to talk about how to automate your SAST scans with GitHub Actions, but more than that, we're going to talk about the robust REST APIs that ASOC has to offer. And to help me with this, I have with me today Antony Chiu from the Tech Advisor side. Hi, Antony.
Hi, Tom. Hey,
Nice having
happy
you
to be on
again.
this.
I
Yeah,
think
glad to be on the show again. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And I reached out to you not just because you are one of the stars of the show, but because we wanted to talk about some of the things that you've done to for your customers recently,
Yeah.
and specifically around static analysis. So
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think the main topic I want to be able to share with you, Aton, and anybody here today is on our powerful REST API capability within AppScan on Cloud. So with the APIs that we have with ASOC, we cover a wide variety of functionalities, all the way from, application creation, submitting
hmm
scans, generating reports. I would say if it's not 100% of the functionalities that you can use in the UI are available in REST API, maybe even more, right?
yeah,
So it's a very powerful suite of APIs, and this demo that I would like to demonstrate is kind of using the APIs to integrate within a GitHub action workflow. So that's kind of the intent for us today. Yeah.
yeah, and you even mentioned just one part of the APIs because all the APIs to manage the program and to add users and to create new asset groups even is also available in the API. And I will actually include a
Mhm.
video on your side, on that side, that I recorded with Cody a few months ago, I think, on how he uses the APIs to manage user access through GitHub changes. So that's cool.
Yeah, sounds good.
So GitHub. Let's maybe talk about
Yeah.
the GitHub. You we wanted to talk about GitHub because that's the main one, right? Everyone talks about it,
Right.
but you've created API. You used APIs to create integrations with others, not just that. So can you share, for example?
Sure. Yeah. So GitHub app with the introduction of GitHub Actions, with GitHub Actions, you have the ability to use what they call these agents, right? So these
Yeah.
agents are temporary Docker or VMs that are made available for you temporarily to build your source code, to compile things, or to do any automations you want to run
Mm-hmm.
within that agent instance, right? So what I've built in this case here is to leverage a instance of a Windows agent, and of course there's like Linux agents,
Yeah.
there's like very small agents, large agents with different built-in tools included. But I've opted to use a Windows agent because of the nature of this demo that I'm going to demonstrate, which is a .NET project.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, a Windows agent actually provides a lot of the Microsoft ASP.NET libraries that allows me to do like .NET publish, .NET build, and then from
Okay.
there, I can then run a full static analysis using AppScan on Cloud. But to your point, Eitan, this capability is also available with any other CI tool, CI/CD tool that are out there that supports this type of workflow, where a instance of an agent is made available to you, right? So I also have another example that is built within Circle CI as well
Mm-hmm.
that uses
Yeah.
the same methodology of the temporary, agent. In Circle CI, the terminology is orb, but it's the same thing, right? Just a temporary VM. But you do the same thing. You do the build, you do compile, and then any other automation piece. In this case, just running static analysis within the temporary agent. And then at the end of the workflow, what we do is then grab the report and make it available to anybody who's accessing the workflow as well.
So let's jump right to it. You described a really interesting demo, so I want to see.
Sure, sounds
Go
good.
for that.
Okay, so let me just share my workspace here with my GitHub project page. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so what you're seeing here is my code repo in my GitHub page, and we'll make this link available in the video description below. So this is a public repo that anybody can access. You can, do a clone of it if you want, and then, look at the stuff that's been created here. So in this project, I've included a bit of a like a README description talking about what's going on in here. So if you scroll down a little bit here, you can see kind of some APIs that I used in this example, right? So you can see like, we did a login. There's a file upload, which is uploading the RX file onto AppScan Cloud. We then do a static analysis, okay? And then from there, we then go and just generate a report, getting the report, and then downloading it and making it available within the workflow. Okay, so something to, for people to just kind of look at and then examine what's going on within this particular example. Okay, so we can see, at the end, we do get a security report available from this whole workflow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the example I want to demonstrate here is, let's say we are doing a pull request, right? So there's a pull request, and then as part of that pull request, we want to conduct a static analysis on the source code, right, during that process. All right. Okay, so let's go to pull request up here in the menu, and then we'll do a new pull request. Actually, you know what? The better way to do this is to actually make a modification to the source code. So let me go there. Let me go and access one of my code here. Let's just pick this one, and then we'll do an edit. Okay, we'll just do that. And at the end of this, I'll create a new branch and then start a pull request. Okay, so I'll do propose change and then create. Okay, so this has been submitted. We're looking at the conversations view. And right away, you can see that a workflow has been triggered. So you can see AppScan on Cloud SaaS workflow has been initiated. So it is in progress. And we're waiting for this to complete within this pull request. So we can actually go look at what's going on in this view here within this workflow. So let's click on detail. And right here, you can see this workflow that I have prepared for us, which is going through various steps that's required to arrive at the static analysis that we want to run, right, for this particular code repository. So let me just shrink these views so we can kind of talk about a little bit what's going on.
And it's important to mention for the people that are watching, this is not related to the code suite for GitHub, which I showed with Matt a few months ago. This is a full static analysis scan. We're not just evaluating the changes.
Correct. Yeah. So this type of scan will leverage ASOC's, very powerful static analysis capability to perform things like, data flow analysis, and then, examining the entire source code repository in my example here. And then, so if we look at kind of the build steps, right? So there are a number of things that's happening here, and you can see that we're running this one step called perform HCL AppScan security analysis. But we've done a couple of things, prior to that to get the project ready before we start the scan, right? So you can see, so for instance, source code checked out into this agent. This is the actual checkout of the code. And then I do a bit of a, check PowerShell version. You can actually include a bunch of stuff within the workflow too, right? Any any commands that you want to run. Like I think here I did another just ls, just list directory. And looking at the ls, we can actually verify that the source code actually has been checked out and downloaded into this agent. And then finally, at the HCL AppScan security analysis step, that's where kind of the fun thing, fun stuff starts, right? So I won't go into too much detail about the code itself, but you can see like in the blue-green text, that's the actual source code, the code that is running the APIs. So like the APIs that we talked about, they're all here, right? So you can see, we're calling like scan, it's dragging us down to the bottom, but it's calling all the APIs, like running the scan, it's generating reports. Right now, we can see that it is actually going through the static analysis client utility, SA client util, to validate the project. It's generating the IRX file, and we've submitted a scan, right? So right now, it's just simply waiting for scan completion, basically polling AppScan to check whether the scan has completed at this stage. While this is running, let's actually go into AppScan my instance of AppScan on Cloud, and we can actually see the scan that's running. Okay, so we can actually see that this is a automated scan. So this is the title that I gave the scan job, just automated scan from GitHub Actions. It's currently running, and we're just waiting for it to complete, right? So let's go back and let's see where we are at with this. Instead of waiting for this to run and finish, let's go look at a completed scan. Just like
Sure.
a good cooking show, we have something in the oven baked already. So let's go take a look at that. So I'm going to switch over to my GitHub Actions view. And this is the place where all my workflow, existing workflow, past workflow has, that's where it resides, right? So you can see the one that we just triggered is right here, right? So that's still running. Let's go look at this one here. So this is something that I completed just before this, this call today. So I can show you this one that has been completed. Let's look at the build. So we can see that this one, it's the same thing, right? So we did that security analysis step, and then there was that whole wait for scan completion. And then at the end, we did a generate report. I also did a XML report as well, just for some other integration use cases, if that's something you like to do. But HTML report is the one that we want to see here for us to read as humans. So at the very last step here, what I also did is to run a GitHub action to upload this particular artifact into this workflow, so we can actually look at the scan results afterwards. And then same thing, with the XML, there were some post-job actions, and then it's completed, right? So let's go back to this workflow. And if we look at the bottom here, under the artifact section, we can see the reports that we pulled out of that whole workflow. So let's look at the HTML one. Okay, and then so the way it's currently packaged is a zip. So let's just extract that and take a look what's here. Okay, so I see the HTML, and you can see the kind of the full static analysis report, right? So your typical fixed groups, and then as you scroll down, like your full data flow analysis on the .NET project, they're all here available for you to use, to reference and be able to start remediating the issues, right?
Yeah, and still, this is for the concept of we don't want to force people to go even to ASOC. They use the integration that you prepared here, and without going into ASOC once, they can run the scans as part of their GitHub Actions, see the results. They can even load results in their IDE if they want to. But at any given, we will be happy for developers to go to ASOC and see the details in our beautiful UI, but we don't have to. They can stay in the tools that they're used to.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the things that I would like to share is that for when we introduce ASOC to different stakeholders within the organization, sometimes there are certain teams that that would like to just be able to work within their own internal environment, right? So, say there's a GitHub based team, they want to be able to do a lot of the things within just GitHub, right? So, you can imagine a capability like this allows them to just remain focused within a tool that they're comfortable in and that they're familiar with. And then as they're doing things like pull requests, managing their source code, they have the ability to run a static analysis and just to make sure that there are no major issues before the code is kind of checked into the main branch, right? So there are a lot of use cases that you can actually implement with a integration like this. And again, you can be very creative with this type of integration. This is just one example, but if you go into AppScan Cloud's Swagger page, you can see all the different functionalities that are in there that you can leverage and then be able to create your own automation that fits to your use case, right?
Yep. So, sounds great. Yep. Do you have anything else to show? Or can I bring you back?
Yeah, no, I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So as you mentioned, right, with the integration, people can do way more and customize the integration to do whatever they want. That's why in this show, I prefer always to have a discussion with you or with Cody or one of the others that build the integrations and not just use the plugins that we have out of the box, which are based on the way that we use our tools and the way the customers that we spoke with are using the tool, but every person may have different use case and different configurations of their GitHub or Jenkins or Jira or whatnot. So we want to make sure that people are aware of the different configurations, the different things that they can do. And as you mentioned, in the description below, I'll include the link to your repository.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
For sure. Yep. Sounds good. Yeah. Thank you, Eitan, for bringing me onto the show. I'm happy to be demonstrating this to you and to everybody here. And if anybody has any questions, do definitely reach out to us. I'll be happy to go through the demo in more detail. Explain a couple of things that's going on within the workflow. And in fact, the workflow file, the YAML file, is all within that project, right? So you can actually navigate within the source code, the code repo. Under the workflow, you can see everything that's happening in here. The steps that we took, to integrate AppScan Cloud into this single workflow that allows you to do static analysis from beginning to end, right, and get a full report out of this whole workflow at the end of the run. Yeah.
And of course, if anyone of the viewers looking at a repo is interested in making suggestions or changes, feel free. Use the Git repo, and Antony will check what you have, and maybe we'll make modifications. So that's great.
Yeah, for sure.
So thanks everyone for joining, and I hope that was valuable for you. It was for me, for sure. Thanks, Antony. Until the next time.
Yeah. Thank you, Eitan. Yeah, appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.